What is up, everyone? How we doing? It is Thomas with Real Broker here in St. Augustine, Florida. Well, actually, I'm in San Antonio, Texas. I'm here for the first conference for the new brokerage that I'm at, Real Broker. And I gotta say, it's been a blast. And also, my Airbnb actually, I think, looks a little bit better than my studio. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like it, you hate it. But we're mobile here today. I'm actually heading to a party later tonight to end the first conference that our brokerage has had, and it's been a hell of a time. So super excited. Got a lot of ideas I'm going to be bringing back to our market center here in St. Augustine, and putting out some good content for you guys so I can bring more value, more information, just so you guys can make a better educated decision on what you want to do when buying, selling, or investing a home here in Northeastern Florida. So we're going to start it off like we always do. If you are watching, let me know where you're watching from. What has you thinking about, maybe possibly selling here in St. Augustine, buying or investing in the area? And what has you think about moving to Florida in general? Love to know that. So just go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the market stats like we always do. But let me know where you're from, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start off with the market stats right now. Okay. So we all know things have been changing pretty drastically. And I want to share one thing with you guys, because the market's changing these past couple of weeks, right? We know it. Let's just take a look at interest rates real quick. Interest rates are changing, right? So let's see here. Where interest rates today. Here we go. Normally Google has interest rates literally right there when you Google it, so that doesn't make sense. All right, let's go. Current mortgage rates today. Here we go. So 30-year fix, it's gone over 7%, guys. Okay, so we know that's one of the main things that's affecting affordability here in today's world is the interest rate rising, and it's becoming a concern for a lot of people, right? I've seen that someone actually thinks, I think it's Lawrence Young, who is the National Association of Realtors economist. He says that we could possibly see interest rates hit 8.5%. Now, I can't even believe that we're at the sevens, to be honest. I mean, with everything that's gone on this past year, literally a year ago, we were half of the interest rate. We were at 3.5%. So now that we're at 7 and we're possibly pushing 8.5%, it's definitely affecting affordability. And in turn, you're going to see prices start to adjust because of that. Now, does that mean that the market's going to fall through the floor? No, that doesn't mean that, but it just means that the negotiations between a buyer and a seller are back. So if you are buying a home, you're actually able to negotiate way more than you were able to before. And you can get the seller to maybe, do some repairs on the house, buy down your interest rate, pay down some of your closing costs. These negotiations are coming back. Whereas, 6 months, a year ago, when you were a seller of a property, you didn't have to negotiate shit. You could literally just put your house on the market, you get 20 offers, and then just say, yeah, well, if you don't want, I'm not going to do anything. If you want to do something, if you don't care, we can move forward with the house. If you don't, kick rocks. We'll go find someone else. And I think the biggest misconception too is like, okay, was it able to get a deal last year compared to today? Are you able to get a deal today? Well, obviously no one knows what's going to happen with interest rates, right, guys? I mean, I've seen forecasts where it's going to hit 8.5%, and I've seen by Q1 it could be 4.5%. So if that happens, then we're right back in the market that we were in before. People are going to hop on that very quickly, especially with everyone's in the know now with interest rates if you're a buyer, right? Because they've changed so drastically this past year. The one thing I wanted to cover though is like, okay, so interest rates were great, last year and the earlier beginning part of the year. And this is where we're getting in multiple offer situations. So sellers weren't doing any repair items on inspection requests. A lot of the times people were waiving their appraisals or inspections. And also they're paying over asking price for the property. And a lot of the times that's coming up in the form of cash, right? So they're not, if the house doesn't appraise for the purchase price, then they're making up that difference in cash too. So let's just say that, that you paid for a house, not overpaid, because market value is what a buyer and seller agree to. So overpaying is just something that people think is happening. You agreed to do it, right? That's the market value of the property. There's also 20 other people who wanted to buy that house too. So overpay, that's a misconception, right? But let's say you paid $20,000 more for the house. 10 years, right? $20,000 that came out of your pocket cash, right? If you were to invest that $20,000 for 10 years, you'd make like $35,000 or something like that over the course of the 10 years, right? So that's another $15,000 that you possibly could have made, if you're assuming a 7% return on your investment over the next 10 years. But no, you had to put it into your house, correct? Now, in today's market, you could potentially negotiate $20,000 off the purchase price and also ask the seller to pay for your interest rate buy down, closing costs, and do some repairs in the home. Whereas before, you were also, you buy the house, you walk into the house, you're going to have to do all the repairs. All that money's coming out of your pocket, right? If there was a difference in an appraisal and the purchase price, that money was coming out of your pocket. So in today's world, it's a lot better for buyers because you can negotiate today to keep more money in your pocket today, right? And that's a big thing because with everything going on with the economy, with recession, possible war with Russia, being able to keep more cash in your pocket, stay a little more fluid is not a bad way to go. But guys, let's hop right in. Let me see if I have any questions here, any comments. I do not, but guys, if you're joining us here for the first time, let me know where you're from. Let me know why you're here checking out our channel. Are you looking to sell in St. Augustine, maybe move somewhere else? Are you looking to buy here in the area? Are you looking to invest? Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you guys being here tonight. And I'm going to get on to the market stats. Okay. So let me rock out here. I'm going to share my screen. So let's share the screen. Boom. Boom. All right. So as we always do, we're going to the MLS here. So as you can see, we have new listings, 181. New listings are down year over year. We have way more listings coming onto the market comparatively to today, this past month. Okay. So new listings, 181, pending 119, continue taking back up 49. So really, let's say 50 and 120, it's 170 that went under contract and 181 new listings. Okay. We have 136 closed listings. Okay, this is the past 24 hours too. So let's look at the past week so we get a broader idea of what's actually happening here in our market. So we got 1,100 new listings, pending 768, contingent taking back up 322. Let's just say that's roughly 300. Yeah, so that's almost one for one there if you're talking about new listings, pending and contingent, right? You got 768. Yeah, so it's almost 1,100, just under 1,100 that went off the market, and we had 1,136 come on the market. Now we have 802 homes closed versus that 1,136. So let's just say 8 out of 11 homes are closing in today's market. And the news that the market's going to crash, the market's falling, prices are depreciating, that has been here for several months, guys, right? So that's not new news here in the United States, but also in Florida, right? We all knew that interest rates were going up, right? That's been a thing, but still closings are happening. People are still buying and selling real estate. There's still a necessity for it because you need to live somewhere, right, guys? So let's just take a look at another market stat here because this is a big one that I talk about a lot, right? So days on market's creeping up, guys, right? So, I mean, it's not drastic like everyone wants it to be so they can cash in on it, right? But it's definitely going up. So in July, we had 28.5 days on market, and then we're over here at 38.2. So that is a pretty significant increase over the past 3 months. But when you compare that to the beginning of 2019, before the pandemic, that number I think was around like 65 or 70 days on market. So we still have a long way to get back to that balanced market, but this is showing signs that we are going back that way, right? Inventory, right? Inventory looks like it's starting to level off, guys. So we've seen a peak in inventory in July, right? And then August goes to 7,561, and then it's starting to look like it's starting to taper off as we get into the holidays, which is completely typical, guys. That's something that is 100% normal. And that's when I covered this before, we were talking about new listings coming into the summer. Well, that's when a lot of people buy and sell because they have families, they have kids in school. So they need to work around that situation. When's the best time to do that? Typically during the summer. As we go into the holiday season, a lot of people aren't looking to have families going through their house, keeping their house super clean, just so they can have, just so they can sell their house during that time. Because they got, let's say they're doing Thanksgiving, they got Christmas, they got friends, family coming in from all over. And a lot of people actually put the home buying process on pause. So if you are a buyer in this market, it's actually a great time to buy. And obviously, interest rates make a difference. Affordability is going down, right, for these homes. But when you're buying in this market, you can negotiate a lot more. So let's say if interest rates did hit 4.5% in the first quarter, what do you guys think is going to happen? I want to know what you guys think is going to happen. If interest rates do go down to 4.5%, do you guys see our market still going down, or do you see it going up? That's really the big thing there, because interest rates is really what's controlling the demand in the market right now, right? Obviously, inflation, war with Russia, those are other side factors, right? But I think the main draw of everything going on in the market today is going to be the interest rate hikes that we've seen. So if you're selling in this market, that's also something, maybe you do want to put your home on the market now. Yeah, there's not as many buyers that are there during summer, but if buyers are coming to your house during this time of year, do you think they're more serious about buying a home? And also for them, it's an opportunity too. A lot of the competition's waiting it out, right? So for them, it's an opportunity. So if you are thinking about selling, you are thinking about buying, there are still opportunities for you in this market. And what we've seen now, when interest rates hit 7%, both me and my wife, our phone started blowing up. I don't know what correlation that has. Maybe it's just our marketing efforts and everything. No idea. But people are still out there looking, guys. And, it's a necessity for a lot of people relocating to our area. They need to buy a house. They have to buy a house. And, maybe you're not in that situation, which is great, but you got to ask yourself, what is the cost of waiting to you? And yeah, is that monetary? It could be. And it could be a big cost. That's a monetary cost. But are you going to hold up your life because of what's going around you, right? The market's the market. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. Trying to time it, almost no one can do. So best thing you can do, buy, hold, wait, never sell it, because I don't think real estate's really going to get too much cheaper. For my generation, I personally believe we're pretty much going to have to be forced back into multifamily housing, where you have multiple generations of your family living in the home with you, because affordability, I don't think, is going anywhere, guys. So also, we have student debt and yada, 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 all that good stuff. My generation really, I think, got the shaft. And also, now we have social media too. So they want you to invest in the NFTs. They want you to invest in the freaking, the options. They want you to buy crypto, all this stuff, which is now plunged to the bottom, unlike real estate. But real estate isn't as sexy as crypto and NFTs and getting rich overnight. No one likes to hear that, but that is the fact of the matter, guys. But let's go on to the news stories. Let me switch up the banner here. Important news. So I wanted to clear up something, because I've covered this, guys. I've covered this on my live streams every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Where we're going over the stats, the local news, and doing Q&A. But I've covered how St. Johns County wants to increase the class size above what the state level allows. And this video here, which I won't play, but I will leave the link in the description below so you guys can check it out. This is St. Johns County School Board Superintendent Tim Forson, okay? And essentially what he's saying is, like, the reason they want to raise the cap is because obviously our school district is growing with how many people are moving. St. Johns County is the fastest growing county in the state of Florida. And they had 2,000 more students add this year. That's a 4% growth compared to last year, okay? But what he's saying is that the reason for this is because why they're asking for more room in the class sizes is because a lot of people move during that time, right? So you have a kid move to another area, and they need to still be able to get that kid in school, make sure he can do everything he needs to do to get the classes he needs to get. So they want to increase it for that flexibility of kids moving during the school year, so that they can go into the classes that they're able to just plug and play, just hop right into school. But they made a comparison here, whereas like they're still setting at the lowest point, there's still 2 kids. I think there's the class size maximum is 18, and they're at 16.3. So they're at 1.5 kids below the state average. So it was a little misleading on my part in how I saw the news article. Also, the news article that wrote it probably did that on purpose. But I always want to follow up, give you guys the relevant information, because this stuff is important. If you're looking to move here with your family and your kids, and you want to know about schools, you don't want to hear about schools being too crowded for your kids to get in. So that's something that I thought was super important for you guys to know. If you do have any questions about the schools or anything, I'm actually trying to see if I can get an interview with like the superintendent there and just have a couple questions. So if you guys have any questions about schools in the area, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see if I can get them answered in the best way possible, which is straight from the horse's mouth. So let's go on to the next news story here. And this one is more or less a housekeeping thing. I've talked about Paul Waldron here on our, oh, where'd it go? Here we go. Yep, so St. Johns County Commissioner, he just passed away. I think it was from complications with COVID. Since he got COVID in 2020, he's been bound to a wheelchair, but he was still serving the public as St. Johns County Commissioner. And our hearts go out to his family. I hope they're all doing okay. I know it's a tough time for him. And I've disagreed with a lot of things that he's done because I know recently he's declined a lot of housing starts. And but at the end of the day, he lived in St. Johns County his whole life, guys, and he committed himself to the county. So thoughts and prayers out to his family. Hope all is well with them. On to the next news story, but thought you guys should know that. And that's also going to cause some voting to be a little weird where things are approved or denied because they typically have 5, so there's a tiebreaker. They have some things where now because he passed away, they only have 4 votes. So it's a little different. And I imagine they'll get that sorted out here. How they will, I don't know. But I think it's relevant, guys, because things are, he was a big voice about, he approved a lot of stuff. Don't get me wrong, but he also declined a lot of stuff. And I'm not about that right now, honestly. Okay, so another housekeeping fact. I covered this before. St. Johns County wants to separate fact from fiction during town halls on 1-cent sales tax referendum. So the main thing here, and they want to raise it from 6.5 to 7.5 cents for the next 10 years, and that money is going to go infrastructure, public safety, and quality of life projects. Right now, the county has a backlog of 500 million infrastructure needs, right? So the misconception is that the developers now today are not paying for their fair share in what's going on in our world. Now, this article, what they're doing is they're going to have several hearings so that people can understand what's going on. But essentially what they did is they raised the impact fee. So if you are building in our area, the impact fee has been significantly raised since 2018. It's the highest that it can be per state laws. So the developers that have started since 2018 have been paying their fair share, and the future is all good. But because prior to 2018, there's a backlog of $500 million that we need to account for, which is why the 6.5%, 7.5% sales tax is coming into effect. So as they come out with more information about this, guys, I'll make sure I stay on top of it for you. Like I said, I'm here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. covering the market stats, covering the news, and also doing any questions and answering any questions you guys may have. So I'm here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. for you guys. Any questions, I'm here to help. Okay, guys? So let's see here. I got 6 people watching. Thank you so much. I'm super excited you guys are here. If you have any questions, feel free. If you, I promise you, someone has the same exact question. Maybe you think it's a dumb question. There's no such thing, honestly, especially if you're looking to relocate, just looking to learn. So I guarantee someone else has that same exact question. So go ahead and fire them off, guys. So I'm going to head into the next news story here. All right. All right, so we just talked about housing projects being denied by St. Johns County. Now, this is a multifamily project in St. Johns County, US 1 and Watson Road, denied by the commissions. And what they want to do is put 204 multifamily units on 15 acres of land. And here it says, I know you have denied a lot of stuff lately, and it seems the primary concern is there's not enough traffic capacity. Here's one project you've seen in months that meets the concurrency. But residents still weren't very excited about the project. They decided that they're actually going to deny this. And Commissioner Sarah Arnold said her biggest issue was the drainage of the property. Obviously, because of Hurricane Ian, stormwater management, flooding is a big concern for a lot of people, especially if you're looking to build here in the area. And like I said, there was no tiebreaker vote due to the recent death of Commissioner Paul Waldron. So commissioners denied rezoning 4-0. So that's what's going on, guys. Things like that. is happening. Now, what we're not seeing, and what I think is really a problem, is we're not seeing apartments come on the market for people to buy, right? We're not seeing any developers come out with condos that you can buy the individual condo. We're not seeing any new development like that. We're only seeing developers wanting to come in, build these massive apartment complexes only for rent. Now, there is a need for that because people still need to rent. I'm not an idiot. I understand that. I am a realtor and I want you to buy and sell. And I believe building wealth for your future is real estate's a great vehicle for that, right? But we need some apartments that you can buy and some condos that you can buy, opposed to condos that you can just rent and just rent forever. And the rent can keep going up and keep going up. We need some condos that people can get into that are affordable, and quit pussyfooting around with this rental apartments everywhere. If you go everywhere in Jacksonville, they're just building rental apartments, all starting around $2,000 a month too. So let's go over here, guys. I'm going to share a couple more stories here. But then I got to go party, gonna have a couple drinks, did a lot of work this week. So I'm going to be pretty excited about that. So let's see here. So 2 developers propose hundreds of apartments for St. John's. Once again, this is coming again. And this is 600 new apartments in the southern portion of the county. So they're actually looking to start doing some stuff in the southern portion of St. Johns County. But this is southern portion, really, it's the middle of St. Johns County. So one of the projects calls for 300 multifamily units right off of State Road 16. So in my opinion, I live off of 16. That's the middle of the county. It's not the southern part, but where all the development is in the majority of the northern part of St. Johns County. So development's still happening. They're still looking to push stuff through. We still have a shortage of housing, guys. And that's part of the reason why our prices have gone so high in such a short amount of time, is because the people that want to move here, we don't have the housing for them. So you're seeing multiple offers, not seeing them today like we were 6 months, a year ago, not at all, but it's still moving forward. And here's another big project that I've been touching on, guys. And this is going to change, in my opinion, this could change how St. Augustine is in general. It's a big project. This would be something that's going to be 10 years down the line. So if you are looking to invest, you're looking to buy, you're maybe looking to get your foot in the door, be a first-time home buyer, definitely consider West Augustine because they're putting a lot of money and there's a lot of plans to do different things over there. I covered before that LGI, D.R. Horton are building new construction homes over there. I put a couple of people over there in investment properties as well. Because of the zoning in West Augustine, you can rent out on the nightly for Airbnbs. So that's a great way to go if you're looking for investments. But what they're looking to do, and I covered this before with Broudy's liquor store, is turn that into a railway station up to Jacksonville, right? Which would obviously open up a lot of transportation because we don't have public transportation really here in the area. That's not it. Here we go. St. Augustine Mayor-elect expects Broudy project to be approved. And why wouldn't they approve it? It doesn't make sense not to approve it, guys. So just to cover this again, this is a sketch of what it would look like. So it has to have a parking garage because that goes into the long-term effects of St. Johns County's mobility plan. They're looking to build 350 multifamily units there, which is just going to be apartments in that section. They're also looking to add some retail as well as that railway station, which is going to open up obviously some jobs in the area and also open up the transportation. People go up to Jacksonville, hop on the train, get off the train, come back down, go to work, wherever they got to do. People want to come from Jacksonville downtown St. Augustine, go get a drink or something. They don't got to worry about driving. I think that's a solid idea, and I really hope it moves forward because that's going to change that whole area. Because West King on that section, this is right on West King. So there's US 1, right? And there's King Street, which is the intersection, goes east and west. So when you're on the west side of US 1, you're in West King Street. You can see a lot of the stores there are already developing. They're adding a lot of businesses down there. I know my wife goes to Serenity Yoga down there, brand new yoga studio, which is nice and beautiful, and a nice little commercial store. Some of the best authentic Mexican tacos are down there. My favorite place to go is right down there. Oh my gosh, it's called Tacos My Blessing, and it's a little food truck behind the Bog Brewery, which is also new to that area. So West Augustine, St. Johns County, that is an awesome move. I really like that plan. And I think it could be big for that area. And if you're owning a home in that area, that's also a big deal for you too, because that's going to just bring your property value up, right? If you have that big transportation hub there, that's going to make it really easy for people to get places, which there's no public transportation here, guys. So that's a big deal. Looks like we got a comment here. Where on 16 are the apartments going to be located? So Debbie asks, where on 16 are the apartments going to be located? Now, that's going to be, they didn't release the place of where they're going to put it, but it says it's going to be on the north side of 16, west of 95. So if you're looking at it now, it's pretty much all developed once you get past the Adventure Landing. And there's also the outlet mall there. So it'll probably be in that section right there, right off of 95. And that makes a lot of sense too if you're looking to build something with rental aspect. You know, a lot of people work in Jacksonville. It's also really close to downtown St. Augustine, and it's supposed to be more affordable. So maybe that's who they're trying to target, like the service workers of downtown St. Augustine, Jacksonville, that type of area. So I imagine it'll be right off of 95 and 16. But Debbie, hey, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your comment. So let's go back. I only got a couple more news stories, guys. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below and I'll answer them here tonight. If you don't, I'm going to be peacing out early because I'm looking to go to a party with my brokerage. My wife's already there. And I've been working all week and I want to take a little bit of a break, especially because I'm going to have to travel all day tomorrow. So I'm going to share my screen here, guys. And so this is just something they polled a whole bunch of realtors. They didn't ask me, I'm kind of offended, but they asked a whole bunch of realtors how Jacksonville should deal with the affordable housing crisis. So essentially, I'm going to skim through a lot of this here, but Ian Jordan from Caldwell, he says, stop hedge funds from buying spec homes. Spec homes are the homes that new construction builders put up. They make all the decisions. They just have them up for sale. They're like, hey, if it's moving ready, you want it, you can buy it. You don't get any choices. But he says that's maybe something that we need to do. Don Neerman wants to have an incentive or recognition for companies that do provide affordable housing and innovation. And I think they do need to talk about that a little bit more where, the people that are doing the most for the people that actually live here, I think those people need to have a little bit of a higher standing when looking at possibly building a home, maybe a custom home. So it gives them a little bit of an incentive, but maybe a tax incentive is the best way to go for those guys. Jennifer Hedry from Crossview Realty says all properties that are listed should not be able to be sold as a second home or an investment until the home has been on the market for 30 days. Now, that sounds like almost like price fixing to me and sounds pretty unethical. But these are just ideas, guys. I mean, what do you think that Jacksonville, St. Augustine should do with their affordable housing crisis? What can government do that will help this situation? And I mean, if you've watched long enough, I'm not very pro-government. I think private sector does things a lot better. It's a lot faster. Pretty much anytime I've had to deal with the government outside of St. Johns County, it's been a hassle. St. Johns County is really, they just got their stuff together, I gotta say. Maria, she says that prices are going to come back down because interest rates are going up, but that doesn't necessarily make it more affordable. So that doesn't make sense because if interest rates go up and prices come down, well, it's an inverse reaction, right? So it's like, yeah, the price may be X, but if interest rates 7-8%, you're still paying the same amount if the price was higher and interest rates were 3.5%. So it's a wash at that point. But another person says that, we should just let the market do what it does. And that's part of capitalism. So capitalism will fix it. So you don't have to do anything. I don't know if that's a good idea. I have no idea, guys. I mean, this is a bigger question. This is a macroeconomics question on what you can do. You need to look at several case studies throughout different cities of what they did because all of these, from what I've read from all these realtors, don't sound like great ideas to me. But either way, let's go on to the next news story here. I'm going to share my screen again. All right. Now, I also thought this was kind of interesting here. So, homeowners insurance. I get asked a lot about this. I'm not an insurance adjuster. I just found this on usnews.com. Now, from my understanding, a lot of the major players in insurance, your State Farm, your Allstate, a lot of them don't mess with Florida. And you normally have to go with more of a local insurance provider. But according to this news article, which I think is probably wrong, these are the best homeowner insurance companies in Jacksonville in 2022. So they have USAA, they have Amica, State Farm, Nationwide, and Liberty Mutual for their top 5. Okay, so they go down to here, and people ask me a lot, what's the coverage? How much does it cost to get a policy on my house? So this is a good little graph here. I like this part of it, but you're seeing some discrepancies in prices. I mean, I don't know how their coverage is literally, I mean, costs $5,000 for a year for a $300,000 house. I mean, I don't know what they're doing on the back end that makes them one of the top, but typically people want to pay less for insurance and get more, right? So this seems maybe they're paying more and they're getting more. Who knows? I don't know. But, that's something that comes up a lot. If you do have any questions about insurance, I can just reach out to me directly, and I can put you in contact with the guy I typically use. You don't have to use him. It's just someone that I'm comfortable doing business with and I've had success with. So let me take a look here. Guys, looks like we got 8 people on. Every time I'm about to get off here, guys, you hop on here. So if you have any questions, I'll hang out for a little bit more about the real estate market here in Jacksonville, St. Augustine, or Palm Coast, or any of the news stories we just covered. Or if you have any questions about the local area, what to do, what to eat, what to drink, I got all the hookups, and I'm planning some really cool stuff. One housekeeping item, in November, we're planning on we're renting out the alligator farm. We're going to rent it out at night. So if you like alligators, if you're local here in the area, let me know. I'll put you on the RSVP list. You can come by. We still got to put the date together, but we already have everything already in motion to do it. I think we're going to do it on the 18th. But I still got to talk with my partner, Kane, just to make sure that we are all set to go on that. But we're going to be renting out the alligator farm for the night for all of our past clients, for our future clients, for our friends in the area, so they can come by. They're going to have a lot of interactive events. There's going to be some pizza, a couple of sodas, no beers or anything. But we're also in tandem doing that with a food drive. So if you do want to come, reach out to me directly. We'll RSVP you. We'll put you on the list. But you also got to bring some food, okay? You got to bring something, because we're going to donate it to Port in the Storm or St. Francis House, one of those charities during that time. And then also for December, I'm also doing another thing. I'm planning on doing a little cocktail night for my people. Once again, looking to buy a house, looking to sell a house, or you're a past client, or you're one of my friends or family, you can definitely come by, and we're going to have, some drinks for people, and it's going to be at this cute little bar. We're getting it all ironed out, but we're also going to be doing a Toys for Tots run then, right? So it's all going to work in tandem, and we'd love for you guys to be able to help out, give back to your community, especially if you're looking to move here, get involved, meet some people, and mingle a little bit. So looks like no questions have come over, so I'm going to take the night off, guys. I appreciate you being here. I'm here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. going over the market stats, the local news, and any questions that you guys may have. Debbie was the only one to ask questions today. Shout out to Deb. You're awesome. But guys, I hope you have a good night, and I'll talk to you next week.